in each instance is why awareness should be required for the infringement of dignity. In my view, a person's dignity may be infringed even though he or she was unaware of it. This finding then would negate the defense of automatism in the charge of criminal injuria. In State versus Humphrey, the court stated that the appellant would indeed be entitled to an acquittal if his actions were attributable to mechanical behavior or muscular movements of which he was unaware of or had no control, but this case did not deal with criminal injuria. It was further stated in State versus Humphrey, this defense must be treated with circumspection. The SCA held that, after all, an accused person who has no other defense is likely to resort to this one in one last attempt to escape the consequences of his or her criminal behavior. And generally speaking, expert medical evidence will be required, and refer to the case of State versus Cunningham. But absent such evidence, the court will require some indication of an emotional stimulus that will serve as a trigger mechanism for the unusual condition of the sudden absence of cognitive control. I find that the accused may have been a victim of a smash and grab on the day and the night in question and was traumatized by that incident. She did lose her temper and was very angry, but I also find that she did not lose control. The choice of words used by the accused during her outbursts were racial and directed specifically to black people, and it proves intent and dolus directus. The Constitutional Court case in South African Revenue Services versus CCMA and others is the authoritative case on the use of the K word and the approach that the courts should take in eradicating racism and its tendencies. The Chief Justice put the use of the K word in context, citing the writings of the academic Badaroon, who wrote that the K word is the most notorious word in South African history, and that it is so offensive in all senses and combinations to the extent of being unspeakable today. Its use now constitutes hate crime in our country and is unpardonably painful and violent. All the complainants were offended and deeply hurt in this case. The accused acted with I find that the accused acted with the requisite criminal capacity in that she knew that her actions were unlawful and acted in accordance therewith. The accused's actions were rational, purposeful, and intentional. The court is satisfied that the guilt of the accused has been established by the state beyond a reasonable doubt, and the state has discharged the onus on it. Dr. Ward, the defense witness, cannot be regarded as an expert as he does not possess sufficient skill, training, or experience. On count one, I find that the accused intended to insult and humiliate the complainant by calling him a F and K, thus impairing and injuring his dignity. On count two, I find the accused intended to insult and humiliate the complainant by calling her a F and B, thus impairing and injuring her dignity. On count three, I find that the accused intended to insult and humiliate the complainant by calling him useless, stupid, and further directing the words K to him, thus impairing and injuring his dignity. On count four, I find that the accused intended to insult and humiliate the complainant by calling him a useless K and black bastard, thus impairing and injuring his dignity. The accused is convicted on all four counts of criminal injuria.
Thank you, Mr. Court, Your Worship. I do note that the 11th of May, this case was declared.
Thank you. Court will then adjourn.